And it's Donna Rainey. Yes. All right. Take your time. We're here all night. Katja Maison, 18, is a straight ally in the LGBTQ rights movement. She has been a member of the Alliance Youth Committee for 2 years, where she organizes youth summits for up to 400 youths. At these summits, she has led workshops on strengthening gay-straight alliances, developing leadership skills, addressing racism in schools, supporting friends with mental illness, and understanding the impact of misogyny. In addition to education and organizing, Katja has been leading youth committee efforts to advocate for policies supporting transgender and gender non-conforming students in Chicago public schools. Katja is also involved with In Transit Empowerment Project, supporting immigrant, undocumented, displaced, and refugee people through art and activism. She is on the board of the National Runaway Safe Line, where she is also a liner and has been trained in crisis intervention. Lastly, Katja has organized events and helped with funding and the development of QYes, which stands for Queer Youth Exploring Spirituality, a grassroots organization based in Cicero, Illinois. And did you know that Katja and her family have found more than 10 dogs in the past 2 years, one of which they have kept, and they named Pepper. How adorable. Katja Maison.
Thank you, David. I am really thankful for being here in this moment surrounded by such amazing advocates and activists. First off, I would like to thank the Windy City Times for this amazing recognition. I would also like to thank everyone who came here to cheer me on, including David Fisher, the most amazing adult supporter who has ever entered my life. I really wouldn't be here without people in my life who have supported me, helped me find resources when I needed them, and introduced me to new opportunities. Thank you. I strongly believe that any young person with the right authentic support and opportunities can do amazing things. However, young people many times don't have that support and don't have those resources and don't have those opportunities to succeed and to even partake in decision making that in the end will affect them. We need to change that. We can't keep stacking these challenges on young people and expect them to succeed. There needs to be more resources and there needs to be more support for young people, regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity, economic status, race, and physical or mental abilities. I know we can do more to help young people, and I really hope we will. Because without luck in finding the right opportunities and resources, I wouldn't be here. And there are so many more young people who can achieve great things and deserve to be here. Thank you.
Preach. Pastor Jay, I think you might have a competitor there. Parker Marie Malloy. Parker Marie Malloy, 28, is an essayist and transgender media advocate from Chicago, focusing her writing on feminism and gender-related topics. She currently works as a freelance journalist, as in contributed writing to The Advocate, Rolling Stone, The Huffington Post, Salon, and Talking Points Memo, among other outlets. Her commentary followed the death of Dr. Issei Ann Vanderbilt was praised by the nation's Dave Zirin as something that should be read in journalism classes. A passionate conversationalist, Malloy espouses the belief that through a change in the media's treatment of trans people, society can begin breaking down some of the systemic oppressions trans individuals face. Earlier this year, Malloy released her first book, which Thought Catalog Books published. She is currently working on a novel. She blogs at parkthatcar.net and regularly posts updates on her Twitter profile at Parker Malloy. And did you know that Parker is a classically trained guitarist who spent her first 3 semesters in college majoring in classical and jazz guitar performance, only to realize that a degree in guitar performance would be virtually worthless in the job market? Wise thinking. Parker Marie Malloy.
I've never worn a dress before.
I'm serious, I've never worn a dress before. So, thank you. And I just wrote a quick little speech here. One sitting over there. But anyway, I just want to thank the Windy City Times for honoring me with this, putting me alongside such amazing people who have accomplished such amazing things. Now, personally, if you don't know who I am, that's probably a good thing, because if you do, you either love me or hate me. Probably hate. So, without further ado, I'm going to read what I wrote. So, hi everyone. I'm Parker. In the past year, I've been extremely fortunate to have been able to contribute writing, rants, reporting, and essays. And in the course of this, I've been told that my writing is both inspiring and informative, but lest you think I have much of an ego, I've also been called a sociopath, a sycophant, and a hack. I've been called a fringe character by RuPaul. That was fun. And I was mock murdered in a YouTube video by drag queen Alaska Thunder F word. That was less fun. Though Alaska and I talked and apologized, we're on good terms, all that. Anyway, so basically I'm either a villain or a hero, depending on who you ask. The majority of my work, however, deals with reporting on many of the otherwise ignored stories surrounding transgender individuals, including stories of employment, housing, and public accommodation discrimination. And I am thankful for every editor that I've ever worked with, as it's, their words on the page too. From the amazing Sunny V. Bridham and Lucas Grinley at The Advocate, Clay Risen at the New York Times, who for some wacky reason believed that I was worthy of being added as a contributor to their op-ed section, which 2 weeks ago, and my friend Jenny Boylan, who has served as both a friend, a mentor, and a sounding board. And at this time last year, no one had ever really taken a chance on me. Every submission that I'd sent in at every single paper, website, and whatnot had been received with nothing but rejection. The fact that I now have a readership in the hundreds of thousands, was named to the Trans 100 this year, and now this. I would have thought you were, and I don't want to be ableist here, so I'll just say, I don't even think I would have believed you. It's been a hell of a year. I have no plans of stopping. May I continue to both inspire and both enrage the world. And also, by adding this did you know section, I was so tempted to, the guitar thing's one thing, but I was so tempted to just go, did you know I was born with a penis? Because, trans. I was born with a penis. There we go. And that's the speech.
Now that is how you end the speech. All right. Carlos Arango. Born and raised right here in Chicago, Carlos Arango, 28, didn't always know he would go into social services. His desire to become a comic book artist, writer, or even an interior designer led him to believe he would be an artist in one way or another. However, After working several jobs in customer service and clothing retail, he knew his desire to help others would be more fulfilling than existing in a merchandising world. Amen. Carlos studied at Northern Michigan University and later at Loyola. He found rewarding work at the Howard Brown Health Center, where he became a patient services representative. Shortly after, he worked on cutting-edge research studies such as Project Prepare and IPREX Olay, and then became an outreach health educator. About a year and a half later, he was promoted to manager of HIV/STI services at Howard Brown Health Center and has learned so much in this new role. As a bilingual Latino gay man, Carlos understands that there is great need for HIV/STI education that caters to individuals not speaking English as their first language. Through his work, he will continue to break down the barriers that exist due to language and overcome stigma surrounding HIV/STIs. And did you know Carlos is writing a sci-fi fantasy novel based on his teen years, during which he came to terms with his sexuality and dealt with family issues. Look out for this in the upcoming years. Look out for Carlos Arengo.
Good evening, everyone. This is such a great honor to be here as a 30 under 30 recipient this year. I never really thought that I would be up here. As an individual who has yet to complete a bachelor's degree, I thought that I wouldn't be one to receive something like this. So when I first heard of 30 under 30, I was working as a patient services representative at Howard Brown, and I thought, wow, that would be such a fantastic honor to receive. And 4 years later, here I am. So I am very honored to be receiving this. And not only do I give myself a lot of encouragement and support for the work that I do, but I would also like to just take this moment to thank Windy City Times for this award. Thank you. My director at Howard Brown, who constantly challenges me every single day. My partner, who through thick and thin is constantly there, even when I am driving him up the wall. And two fantastic men in my life who are role models, friends, mentors, fathers to me, who, thanks to them, I am the man that I am today. So, thank you.
The next recipient is Charlie Rice-Minoso. Charlie Rice-Minoso, 25, worked as a lead field organizer for the 2013 it's a March for Equality in Illinois, and Illinois Unites for Marriage, the campaign that successfully secured the freedom to marry in Illinois. Born and raised in Chicago, Charlie graduated from Columbia College with a bachelor's degree in marketing communications with a concentration in public relations. During his time at Columbia, he established his bonds with the LGBT community by becoming vice president of Common Ground, the school's LGBT student organization, and by interning for Equality Illinois' 2010 Get Out the Vote campaign, Vote Naked. Good name. After graduating in 2011, Rice-Minoso began his career at industry-leading public relations agencies representing top consumer and corporate brands. Charlie later returned to Equality, Illinois in 2013 for the marriage equality fight. From Rogers Park to Belleville, Rice-Minoso traveled the state to inform, engage, recruit, and empower Illinois' LGBT and allied community on ways that they could help pass SB 10. Charlie continues to give back to the community through his involvement with local nonprofits, Equality Illinois, After School Matters, and First Hand Aid to Cuba. And did you know that Charlie is a textbook Scorpio? Terribly. And a Euro-Cuban mutt. When he's not giving back to the community, Charlie enjoys boating, working out, and traveling like a true Scorpion. All right, please welcome Charlie Rice-Minoso.
Thank you. Whoa. Well, 2013 was really an amazing year, and it was such an amazing victory for Illinois' LGBT community. And I feel so humbled and so fortunate to have been able to play a small part in winning the freedom to marry for same-sex couples in Illinois. And it was such an amazing experience traveling the state and actually hearing people's stories and hearing what this legislation meant to people all across the land of Lincoln. I'd really like to thank my parents for ingraining in me that you must always give back to the community in whatever way that you are able. And I'd also really like to thank the staff board and all the amazing, amazing volunteers of Equality Illinois for this amazing opportunity that they gave me. From my time as an intern to a volunteer to a staff member, I've learned so much from so many incredibly talented people, and I feel so blessed to consider them as my friends and my mentors. I'd also just like to thank the Windy City Times for this honor and for recognizing the work of so many people in the community, and also just for everything that you guys do. You guys really are the voice of the LGBT community here. And finally, I'd really like to congratulate all of my fellow honorees for all of the work that you guys have contributed to the community. I feel so honored to be considered one of your peers. So thank you so much, and congratulations.
Okay, coming up next, Rachel Schipple. Rachel, 29, spent her early years in the Florida Panhandle before moving to the Chicago suburbs at the age of 7. She has a bachelor's degree in English literature from Calvin College and a master's in higher education from the University of Toledo. After working in higher ed for a number of years, she recently quit her job, became a holistic life coach, and went back to school for a certificate in urban agriculture through the Windy City Harvest program. She's currently interning at the Regenstein Fruit and Vegetable Garden at the Chicago Botanic Garden. Her end goal is to incorporate her love of growing her own food and environmental sustainability into her life coaching practice. She would like to help people learn to grow food in whatever urban space they have. We'll talk. Be it a deck, a windowsill, a backyard, or a community garden plot. In her spare time, she sings with Windy City Performing Arts, where she met her wife, Crystal. Together they started a blog about sustainable living and queer issues called Sustainably Queer. And did you know, when Rachel was a kid, she had a one-eyed cat named Randy, after singer Randy Travis. Once again, Rachel Schipple.
Aren't you all so excited to hear from the lesbian in the pink pants now? Thank you so much, Windy City Times. Thank you so much to my fellow honorees. I'm just sitting back there this whole time thinking, what else can I say that somebody hasn't already said that would be awesome and cool? Besides that, I am the only farmer in this room. But I am very honored. I am very just thrilled to be amongst you, and I'm just flattered by this nomination, which I don't know where it came from. It actually came to our blog email. I think it was meant for the blog itself, which is as my little bio said. Someone's helping me. Phone a friend. As my little bio said, it came to our blog email, and it was basically like nominating our blog to say, hey, Sustainably Queer, we think you guys are cool, and we think you might both be under 30. But that's not true. Sorry, Crystal. But I am sneaking in at 29. But the point of our blog is that we think that being sustainable and living in a city is kind of a hard thing, and that it is kind of a queer act in and of itself, that you're doing something that is kind of out of the ordinary. it's kind of going against the flow of society, which is kind of a weird thing to do. So Crystal said I couldn't do any vegetable analogies in my speech here, so I'll just go ahead and say that I'm honored again. And I'm very glad to be amongst you. And thanks again, Windy City Times.
Sarah Samilka is up. Sarah Samilka, 30, was born in Chicago and raised in the western suburbs. Early on, she fell in love with the art of storytelling and the power of truth-telling, and moved to Columbia, Missouri, to earn a degree at the University of Missouri's School of Journalism. She became a member of the NLGJA, the National Association of LGBT and Allied Journalists, interned at Chicago Reporter magazine, and then returned to Columbia, where she worked as a news reporter for 3 years at the Columbia Daily Tribune. Sarah eventually earned a master's degree in public policy and landed back in Chicago in 2011. She began interning at the AIDS Foundation of Chicago and now leads the AFC's Chicago Female Condom Campaign. She is also a lead organizer for the National Female Condom Campaign and Global Female Condom Day. She also helps manage and creates content for HIVhealthreform.org, a national project focusing on HIV healthcare in the post-Affordable Care Act era. Her goals for the coming year include broadening outreach to young MSM, men who have sex with men, and the healthcare providers that work with this population to promote the use of internal condoms as a risk reduction safer sex tool. And did you know that Sarah also interned at a voter education nonprofit based in Montana, where she lived in a cabin on the edge of a national park, swam in mountain springs, and biked alongside moose for a summer. Please put your hands together. Sarah Samilka.
Hello? Okay, thanks. I just wanted to say thank you to the Windy City Times for this honor. It's sort of surreal to be here on the stage with all of these amazing people, but also kind of funny. When I moved back to Chicago and I didn't really know what I was doing with my career or what the future held, I was at a PFLAG meeting, and the speaker for that day was the policy coordinator at the AIDS Foundation of Chicago, and he spoke about what he did, and I was like, I pulled him aside afterwards. I was like, "What do you do? How did you get where you are? I want to be you when I grow up." And I was researching the little AFC, and I found his profile, and he had won a 30 under 30 award, and I was like, "That's the coolest thing ever! I think that's amazing." And now I'm here, which is sort of crazy, and. Just want to say it is again such an honor, and I really want to accept it on behalf of the team that I work with. They are so inspiring and dedicated to social justice and at the AIDS Foundation of Chicago and working to serve underserved communities, and they use all their creativity, all of their passion to think of different ways to end stigma and fight for social justice every day, and I'm so inspired by them. It's amazing to get to go to work and be surrounded by people like that every day. I really want to accept this on behalf of them, including my colleague Lucy, who you heard from earlier. It feels really great to be a part of the community, and again, I just want to say thank you.